The nightclub fire in Goa has raised some serious questions about basic safety at crowded venues across India. Late on Saturday night, a blaze erupted inside Birch by Romeo Lane in Arpura in North Goa during an event. Thick smoke filled the enclosed space and most of the victims died because they could not find a safe exit in time. This brings us to the first concern. Why were so many people inside a structure with poor ventilation and limited escape routes? Fire crews rushed to the spot, but their vehicles could not reach the club due to a narrow road for entry and exit. They had to stop hundreds of meters away. Which leads to the next question. How was a popular nightlife venue allowed to operate in a location where emergency access was not possible? Early reports suggested a cylinder blast. Later, the Chief Minister, Pramod Sawant himself, stated that the fire was likely triggered by fireworks set off inside the club. That raises another concern. Were there any checks in place to prevent hazardous activities inside such a packed venue? Four staff members and registered an FIR against the owners of the nightclub. Officials confirmed that the club did not have proper safety permissions.
ये इंसिडेंट्स यानी 11:45 रात को हुआ, आरपोरा यह जगह पे हुआ है और इंसिडेंट होने के बाद तुरंत विद इन द 45 मिनट्स आवर एंटायर पुलिस टीम, फायर डिपार्टमेंट टीम्स वर देयर. लेकिन इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर द फायर डिपार्टमेंट्स टू रीच टू डेट एग्जैक्टली टू द क्लब बिकॉज ऑफ द वेरियस ऑब्स्ट्रक्शंस. बट फिर भी यानी विद इन हाफ एन आवर जो फायर कंट्रोल वहाँ लेना था उन्होंने फायर कंट्रोल लिया और जब अंदर जाके उनको सिर्फ यानी 2 डेड बॉडी ऊपर दिखे, इसीलिए उन्होंने पहले उसको सिर्फ 2 डेड बॉडी बताई. लेकिन बाद में जब वो क्लब के अंडरग्राउंड गए तब उसको बाकी जो 23 डेड बॉडीज़ जो दिखे वो दिखे. लेकिन अंदर वाली जो डेड बॉडीज़ थे उनके लिए कोई यानी फायर इंजरीज नहीं थे. बिकॉज ऑफ द सफोकेशन ये इंसिडेंट हुआ. मुझे लगता है कि जो प्रिलिमिनरी इंक्वायरी और प्रिलिमिनरी जो रिपोर्ट सामने आया है, जो यानी इलेक्ट्रिकल फायर क्रैकर्स कुछ जो जलाते हैं विद इन द क्लब्स, इसकी वजह से फायर उसको लगी और पूरे ऊपर से उनका पूरा क्लब उसको पहले पूरे आग लगी और बाद में कुछ लोग बाहर आ सके, बाकी लोग जो बाहर नहीं आए, इसलिए इंसिडेंट्स हुआ.
And here is the biggest question of all, accountability. How did the club continue functioning despite notices and clear regulatory violations?
कल देर रात को आरपोरा में एक नाइट क्लब में आग लगी जिसमें 25 लोग अब तक अपनी जान खो चुके हैं. कई लोग बहुत सीरियसली इंजर्ड हैं जो अभी जीएमसी में भर्ती हैं. वो बचेंगे कि नहीं बचेंगे हमें पता नहीं. सबसे पहले जिन लोगों की जान गई है उनके परिवारों के साथ हमारी संवेदना है और जो लोग अभी अस्पताल में भर्ती हैं हम उम्मीद करते हैं वो जल्दी ठीक हो. लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी, बीजेपी की गोवा सरकार को इसका जवाब देना पड़ेगा. कैसे लाइसेंसेस के बिना एक वाटर बॉडी के अंदर नाइट क्लब चल रहा था? किसने परमिशन दे दी? और अगर लाइसेंसेस और अप्रूवल्स नहीं थे तो बिजली का कनेक्शन कैसे मिला? पानी का कनेक्शन कैसे मिला? लिकर लाइसेंस कैसे मिला? क्या किसी को पता नहीं था वहाँ पे इतना बड़ा नाइट क्लब चल रहा है? आप नॉर्थ की कोस्टल बेल्ट में जाइए तो हर रेस्टोरेंट का मालिक, हर नाइट क्लब का मालिक आपको बताएगा कि हफ्ता वसूली होती है. सारे नेता हफ्ता वसूली करते हैं और इस करप्शन की वजह से आज 25 लोगों की जान चली गई है. आज गोवा में इतना करप्शन हो गया, हर चीज़ का रेट है. पानी का कनेक्शन चाहिए उसका रेट है, बिजली का कनेक्शन चाहिए उसका रेट है, एनओसी चाहिए उसका रेट है. और आज इस करप्शन ने 25 इनोसेंट लोगों की, जिनका कोई कसूर नहीं था, 25 बेकसूर लोगों की जान ले ली है.
Today when Goa woke up to this very sad tragic news with the loss of precious lives, it is a blot on Goa because Goa was considered as a tourist destination, but in the last few years there has been a total collapse in law and order. This tragedy is a result of the collapse of law and order. There is no law and order. This is just one of the many failures that is coming out in the open. When the Chief Minister himself says that there were no permission, and if this matter was raised in the Assembly in the August session, that means the CM is accepting that he has not taken any action despite it being raised in the Assembly. That means at the highest level.
The government has now ordered a statewide audit of clubs and restaurants to prevent a repeat of this tragedy. But tonight, the debate remains. Are rules only enforced after lives are lost? We have Harshad Sharma, spokesperson of the Congress Party, joining us now. We also have Savio Rodriguez, founder and editor-in-chief, Goa Chronicle, with us. We have IPS Amod Kant, former DGP of Goa, with us. Thank you, gentlemen, for taking time out to be with us. I'm going to begin by asking IPS Amod Kant a straightforward question. Goa is a place which is known for its nightclubs. That is a main source of tourism and revenues for the state, and that is where the highest levels of safety protocols need to exist. And looks like none existed whatsoever in this case.
No, I agree that Goa being a global destination. Well, my experience of Goa is exactly 2 decades back, because I was DGP Goa for a very short period during 2005. And then also the issues were the same. The issues are not new. And Goa is a highly politicized place, unfortunately. And many considerations which are other than political considerations, they are lost in the somewhere in the sidelines, and people are not able to take those kind of precautions. Now, coming to this incident, I'm not aware of exactly what happened, what kind of licenses were there, whether they were not there, what kind of precautions had been taken, what exactly is the location of the place. But as I hear it, that the fire service and the police could reach the location in about 45 minutes, as the Honorable Chief Minister has stated. 45 minutes is a very long time, in my opinion. That 45 minutes for the fire service and the police to reach is not an ordinary time. And then if this place was such that there were narrow lanes or whatever way the fire and the police had to negotiate to reach there, I presume that the presence of the police and the presence of the authorities should have been there at this place, in the sense that I have no idea what kind of police arrangement was there. But the fact remains that there are series of licenses, series of permissions which would have been required for this nightclub, I'm sure. And decidedly, those permissions, for example, you talk about liquor license, I have no idea. You talk about the safety fire precautions, I have no idea. You talk about the law and order arrangements at that place, whether there was a deployment of police or deployment of any kind of force, I have no idea. And then above all, the overall lack of safety precautions and various precautions, or the presence of it.
Yeah.
What exactly was there? What situation was there?
Exactly.
Not be able to comment on that, but decidedly it appears that they were absent.
Yeah.
Because of the absence of those conditions, this tragedy has taken place.
Savio Rodriguez, that's what has been laid bare with this kind of a tragedy, isn't it? And you have the former DGP of Goa saying the fact that this is not a situation, at least in terms of licenses being given to the clubs with the right protocols. This has been a problem for the last 2 decades now, and clearly we've seen the worst face of it, with this tragedy in which 25 lives have been lost.
Yeah. Let me at the onset tell the people whose families have lost their dear ones, and even those who are injured, that the people of Goa stand with them. Being a Goan, it is absolutely shocking, disappointing, and heart-wrenching to actually wake up to such news in the morning. In fact, we got it late at night that something like this was happening. And the total tragedy was when we realized a little earlier in the morning. The point is this: firstly, and first and foremost, the reason for the entire incident was that there were fireworks, as the CM has stated in his statement to the media. fireworks inside the venue. Why? Because there was a belly dancer that was performing, and those pyros were lined up, 10, 12 of them, inside a venue that had wood around and had dried grass that gave it a shack-like atmosphere. And that is why when the CM and the Goa police have put culpable homicide not amounting to murder, let me be brutally honest and state it is murder. It is murder when you light fire inside a flammable area and there are people that are inside that nightclub. That's point number one. Therefore, Luthra and the owners of that particular club must be tried for murder and not culpable homicide. Number one. Number two, it is a complete failure of the Goa administration department to allow for such illegalities to stay there in the first place. The other restaurant belonging to the same owners, which they have now looked at, is also illegal. And North Goa is known to seeing a lot of illegal nightclubs and restaurants and shady joints coming up. What is the administrating doing? The Goa chief minister tells us Bipache Garas na, which means we should not fear. But that is taken quite literally by the nefarious elements, the corrupt people, and those who are into illegal nightclubs and restaurants and spas and massage parlors in Goa. And that is a reality. Today we've lost 25 lives because somebody in the system did not do his job, and that somebody must pay for the murder that has happened.
This is a problem that has been building. It is not just about what this is the last 5 years. This is not just about what happened in the last few years. This has been a systemic problem for a very, very long time under different administrations. At least that's what former DGP Amod Kant is saying. Harsha Sharma.
Well, it is.
See, I was listening to both our panelists.
The problems in Goa.
You are asking me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Just one small point. See,
Okay.
the entire
Go ahead.
Goa is, as I said, is a global destination. Has been a global destination from tourism point of view. Goa's profile, the Goa's activities are very, very different. I mean, it's part of India, all right. Very, very important part of India. And then the entire arrangement, the entire law and order arrangement, the entire licensing arrangement, the entire policing, the fire service, everything else, I think it requires very special kind of arrangement, which should cater to Goa's typical requirements. And these kind of places have always been there. I mean, this kind of nightlife and shacks and these kind of enjoyment, they have always been there. And then it looks very, very odd actually that how this kind of thing happened in the basement. So it appears, I have no idea that whether it was inspected by the authorities concerned. When was it last inspected?
They did not have a license, sir. It did not have a license.
Harsha Sharma, go ahead. Harsha.
So, here I am playing a video of a local MLA, Michael Lobo. And he's shocked. He's telling in this video that there is no authority who can permit nightclubs in Goa. And he's a local MLA, he's a BJP guy. And he's saying he has these files with him. This is on some local Goa channel, Goa 365. And local MLA Michael Lobo is saying that I don't know since when Goa has started permitted night license. There is no system of giving night license in Goa. But then this club, this bar was running without any permission. It was illegal. This was raised by the Sarpanch. This was raised by the Congress party in the house. And the Sarpanch raised it several times. And who is the in charge of all these things? The CM himself. Now CM is coming out in the media and he's saying that this happened due to a firecracker broke out or something. So Goa is a place where you attract maximum tourists from foreign and from local, our own domestic tourism. But what is happening is that there is no accountability. I was speaking with the locals. I am the only panelist here, I think, who is an outsider. Mr. Savio and former DJP, they are locals. They'll tell you that, and I don't know if they'll tell you openly or not, but I'm told that BJP leaders and BJP ministers, they invite people from outside and allow them to open bar, restaurant in Goa, and they don't. And just because senior leaders are involved in this, senior BJP ministers and chief ministers are directly involved, these outsiders do not care about any permits,
It
any
was the
license.
same thing happening during the Congress, my friend. It was
Yes,
the
yes,
same
yes.
thing happening during the Congress.
No. Savio ji, I agree. This is a problem
So this
since
is
like.
not about people starting business. This is about illegality.
Yeah,
Sir, let
yeah,
me finish.
yeah,
Let
yeah,
me
yeah.
finish.
Okay, we have Ajit Kamath, former Assistant
Sir,
Divisional
just
Officer, DFES,
give me a
Directorate of
minute.
Fire and Emergency Services.
Let me finish. This is not a blame game that this never happened in Congress time, or this is happening during Congress time, Mr. Savio. But my submission was that this is a problem appears just because outsiders came and they started
No,
doing
I'm
all these
sorry.
things, and this is a
That's not the
permanent
right
problem.
message.
This is a
That's not the right message. I'm sorry. I don't agree with you.
No, it's okay
You're
if you
talking
don't
about my
agree.
place.
I'm not
This is
here.
my
I'm not
place.
here to please you, Savio. I'm not here to please you. I'm
No,
here to
you
speak.
speak the truth.
I'm here to
Speak
speak
the
what
truth.
I have to
Speak the
speak.
truth.
I don't
Speak
want
the
your
truth. Don't
submission.
lie.
Savio,
Don't
just listen
lie.
to me.
Don't lie. The Congress also did almost the same thing and opened the doors to the non-governments to come into Goa. The
Okay,
non-governments are the
Mr.
ones
Savio, tell
who
me
are
one thing.
supporting by
Savio,
the Congress.
Mr. Savio, tell
And
me one thing.
BJP is
When
continuing with it.
Congress raised
Don't
this
lie.
club issue
Don't
in the
lie.
House,
Innocent
where
people's
were you?
lives
And
innocent people are
was your channel and your
dirty
newspaper?
politics.
Did they
I'm
ask this
warning you,
question to the chief
don't dirty
minister?
politics.
See,
Don't
this
play
can't happen.
dirty
Mr.
politics.
Savio, let me complete.
Don't
Did
play
you ask
dirty
the chief
politics.
minister
25
when Congress
innocent
raised
people
this in the
died.
assembly? Did you ask the
25
chief
innocent
minister
people
what
have died.
question did he
You
take?
have no right to play dirty politics. The
No.
government is wrong in its
So,
administration.
we are a
But
political
don't
party
turn
and
this
we
into
are
a
allowed
dirty
to do
politics.
politics. Mr. Savio,
Don't
don't
turn
teach us
this
what
into
to do and
BJP
what.
Congress. This is about
Gentlemen, one at a time. Gentlemen, one at a time.
For a
Harshad,
constructive
I've given you enough time to finish your point. We also have another guest. I will come back to you as well. We have Mr. Ajit Kamath, former Assistant Divisional Officer, DFES, Directorate of Fire and Emergency Services, Government of Goa, with us. Mr. Ajit Kamath, thank you for taking time out to be with us over here. Tell us, is there systemically something rotten when it comes to giving out licenses? Because look at this particular place. The entry and exit routes are narrow. The fire brigade, when they come, they take 45 minutes and they have to stand 400 meters away from the spot and then only douse the fire from there. Where is the system rotten? Tell us, how rotten has the system been so far, or has it become worse now?
See, let me, in the first instance, pray for those all 25 innocent lives who have died today in this tragic this thing. This is very horrible, tragic this thing incident in my life of where I spent around 40 years of my service in this fire and emergency services in Goa. Definitely, there are rampant clubs and disco clubs and other restaurants in North Goa. But definitely, we at Fire and Emergency Services in the state of Goa, we are adopting the National Building Code of India with the Part 4 Fire and Life Safety, and which is again very clearly defined in Goa building regulations with a separate chapter for that on fire safety. And we have clearly defined there that there's any structure, any occupancy which is erected in the state of Goa will abide by the recommendations of the National Building Code of India as recommended from time to time. Um, uh, Again, coming to North Goa, if we see that these clubs and disco clubs and restaurants, wherever they are situated, it's the approach for the fire engine is very difficult because we have beach shacks also, and this becomes very difficult for my fire engines to approach there and fight the fire in case of any emergency. Another one thing is that in case of this sort of clubs, that these clubs are having very loud music, and because of this, we need to have some special arrangement there, like the lighting strobes, which should be more illuminant than what the disco lights and all are, which are there in the
Eh,
club.
Mr.
And the alarm system also should be more dB than what it is of the music which is played inside the club, so that there is a warning and alarm, and people can hear the alarm in case of
So,
any emergency.
right. So, Mr. Ajit Kamath, all these.
I'm not going into any legality or illegality. For me, safe or unsafe is the most prime matter.
I totally understand, Mr. Ajit Kamath. You're saying that these protocols that could have been there for better safety are not still not being followed. There is no ways you can put out a siren. So these are things which have been lacking in the system right from the beginning, isn't it, IPS Amod Kant? Not all structures for which the go-ahead is given, they have the right entry, exit, enough for a fire safety crew to come in. These are things that, in a sense that there has been not enough done in this direction.
See, in Goa, we have the system of online applications for issual of no objection certificate. Only when the online application comes to the department, fire department, then only fire department goes for the inspection. Or until and unless suppose somebody complains about some any occupancy, then we go for the inspection. Because we cannot be a watchman for so many of occupancies throughout the state of Goa. So all the legal, again, there is a question, legal and illegal. Illegal might be not having the fire safety measures and might not be having the adequate training to the staff. Legal, also the same thing might be there. Legal establishment occupancies.
So apparently,
like
Mr.
this thing.
Mr. Kamath, apparently this particular location, this particular nightclub was illegal. That is what I understand now. It had no license, it had no permission, nothing like that. See, Goa has the tradition. Goa has the tradition of mushrooming of variety of these kind of places. Whether they be on the shacks, like you spoke about the shacks on the beach, where accessibility was a problem, always a problem. These kind of places, they really mushroom in Goa all over. Traditionally, they have been mushrooming. I can recall 20 years back also. Even there, they happen to be there. So let's talk about the way forward and what can be done. I mean, it is not one department. It has to be the multi-departmental affair where, let us say, the police and the fire and the excise department and the local authorities who could give permission, all of them have to join hands. And it's an urgent requirement. It must be done now. It's an urgent requirement that there should be an interdepartmental team which should go along the entire area of Goa and try to find out these kind of places, and then give a report to the government, and then government should take a considered view, should take an integrated view, which is not happening. And decidedly, you can't permit these kind of places going without permission, going without licenses, going without safety precautions. It has happened. It has happened, and that is a lapse because it shouldn't have happened really. I mean, it is the duty of the authorities concerned. There are civil departments, other departments who are always available on the ground. And as you mentioned that there were perhaps some kind of complaint also from the local panchayat and local people. So in that kind of situation, while you take action against those people who were wrong, departmentally they can be dealt with. It's a criminal offense, no doubt about it, and that investigation is going, and it should take a very good shape and should be expeditiously done. But then there should be a survey, there should be a interdepartmental committee and team. We should go along the entire Goa and find out such things, and the
Definitely.
government should take a overall view about it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll take forward this my director also, Mr. Nitin Raikar, who is the director of Fire and Emergency Services presently. I will take forward this to him also. And another one thing is that I have found that this sort of clubs and all, these are not cemented or RCC structures. They use like your thatch palms, this thing, or bamboo mattings and bamboos and all, which aesthetically they want. And these are all the combustible materials what they use there. And even a small spark can ignite it. And that is the reason that the small parks turns into this kind of sort of tragedy. All because the shacks also we have experienced for the last so many years, that shacks which are made of all thatch palms, thatch roofs and all. So these are because there is no access for fire engines to reach there. And definitely the time factor is also very important reaching there, because this kind of combustible materials, they ignite very easily and very fast. And then the response time for the fire service is also very less there.
Okay. Stay with us, gentlemen. Let's now we have some latest eyewitness accounts that are coming in here for News9. Let's listen into one of them.
बिल्कुल ही वो एग्जिट की तरफ ही आ रहे थे सारे। अंदर कोई नहीं गया, क्योंकि यहाँ से एंट्री जैसे हमने करी ना, और बैक साइड में वॉशरूम है, राइट साइड में डांसर डांस कर रही है, और जो एंट्री है वहीं से एग्जिट करा है सबने।
और ये जो फंसे हुए थे वो अंदर ही थे पहले से?
हाँ, जो था वो अंदर ही था।
ओके।
वो सारे जितने भी गेस्ट थे वो तो बाहर आ ही गए थे। और बैक साइड में जैसे वो कह रहे कि किचन है, तो उसका मुझे मालूम नहीं।
कितने बजे ये हुआ सर?
लगभग 12 बजे के आसपास।
12 बजे के आसपास?
11 से 12 के बीच में।
कितने बजे आए थे यहाँ पे मतलब?
सर मैं यहाँ पे आया था 11 बजे।
11 बजे।
हाँ, लगभग सब कुछ चालू था।
सर मतलब अंदर स्टाफ ने सर अनदेखा किया उसको कि चीज छोटी है?
नहीं, अनदेखा तो नहीं, मतलब वो उस टाइम स्टार्ट ही हुई थी, और एक वहाँ पे कोई डीजे के पास कोई लड़का था, उसने पानी का कुछ कंटेनर था, वो बुझाने की कोशिश करी, पर वो बुझा नहीं पाए। फिर एकदम से वो लोग बाहर की तरफ आए। हाँ, मतलब एकदम से भगदड़ हुई। हाँ, हलचल मच गई वहाँ पे, तो सारे बाहर की तरफ ही भागे, और एकदम से उसी टाइम आग बढ़ गई।
There you have it from the horse's mouth. The worst part about this tragedy, Savio, is that people could not leave. People could have exited. People could have escaped, despite the fire spreading so quickly. And it was because they did not have a route to escape, and the majority of the deaths happened because of suffocation. Is the biggest tragedy of all.
Well, that's true, and it's unfortunate. But the reality of the situation with these illegal nightclubs that are happening, which should have been shut down right at the onset, is that nobody understands the demographic, particularly the road demographics of Goa. A large, fire department vehicle cannot enter into any of those small lanes that Goa has. And if you look at North Goa and the mushrooming of all of this, the fire vehicles aren't going to reach there. In fact, I think they should remodel the fire vehicles in order to be sustainable and usable in a Goa-like situation where the roads are small within the networks. But they don't do that. They haven't done that. And that's where the problem is. If you see what happened, it took 45 minutes for that big vehicle to reach this particular place. And if you actually look at the entire topography of this particular outlet and this club, the nightclub, you will realize it is difficult for even one vehicle to actually move in or move out kind of a situation. And therefore, it would be next to impossible for the fire department vehicle to get in. And that's the problem. So Goa requires proper planning. It requires people who are committed to understanding that tourism is a very important, sector of the economy of Goa. Incidents like this destroy the tourism image that we have. And for what? Because somebody who ran a nightclub decided to set up fireworks inside the nightclub like an absolute moron. And today you've lost 25 people because people were not able to even look at the illegalities at it. And you have the same company having another restaurant which is illegal, which means how many illegal nightclubs are there in North Goa and South Goa? That's the real question.
Yeah.
What's the point in doing the exercise over the lapses now? What is the point when you've lost 25 people when you should have been doing that right at the start?